Hey, 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 all you CW fighters out there. It is one of your favorite hosts with the most, and boy, do I have some exciting news for you today. So, first things first, let's talk about Encounter Quest. It's coming at you faster than a cheetah on caffeine, so mark your calendars for April 1st, folks. But that's not all. Oh no. Yours truly, along with the amazing Drewski, have been busy bees behind the scenes working on our website. We have pretty much been working harder than a student cramming for a final exam, and let me tell you, it has paid off. We know our show has room for improvement, but fear not, my dear listener, because we have just the thing to make it even better, a Patreon feature. And here's the cherry on top. You can call in and share your very own encounter with us. Just click on the sneaky Bigfoot hiding in the water on the first page of our site and start recording. It's so easy, even a Bigfoot can do it. So, what are you waiting for? Grab your phone, tablet, or computer, and let's hear about your incredible experiences. And without further ado, let's get started with the show. It's going to be a wild ride, folks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Zook. Hey, guys, I'm Drewski. Hey, don't touch that! Don't touch that! Welcome to Cryptid Warfare!
And if you have a story or encounter, shoot us an email or a detailed voice message to cryptidwarfare@gmail.com. That's CRYPTIDWARFARE@gmail.com.
All right, everybody, so welcome to another episode of Cryptid Warfare. I'm so freaking stoked about a guest we have today. Like, you have no idea.
What's going on, guys? This is Drewski.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
All right, what's going on, guys? We have a very awesome guest. Her name is Jessica. Okay, pardon me if I'm saying this right. It's Mora.
Yes, Mora.
Mora? Okay.
Yeah.
Mora. Yeah, Jessica Mora.
Mora,
guys.
Jessica, here she is. I'm sure
Yay!
she can get that all the time,
Anyways,
sorry.
guys, she's one of the hosts for Encounter Quest. So, if you guys want to give her a shout and find her, Jessica, what can people find you at?
Well, encounterquest.com, for sure, for our event, where they can email at encounterquest51@gmail.com. Facebook, we're at EncounterQuest on Facebook too. You can message us there.
Full beans,
Yeah.
right on. Jessica, let's get into this, man. You and I've been chit-chatting for a while. I don't know. I saw you guys' page a while back and pretty interested. I don't know how the heck we started talking, but
Yeah.
we just did. So,
Lines up conversations.
All right. I got some notes here. I got some show notes here. Let's just go ahead and let's just dive right into this.
Yeah.
At 12, when you're 12 years old, you said you had your first paranormal experience. What was that about?
Yeah. Yeah. So so I was at my friend's house. She was having a sleepover, and she was really like a good friend of my best friend. So my best friend was Caitlin, and then this girl, her name was Holly, and it was Holly's birthday party. So I went over there. We were having a good time, you know, as 12-year-olds at a birthday party, you know. And all of a sudden, Holly was like, "Oh, well, let's play a game." I said, you know, all of us were like, "Oh yeah, okay, let's play a game." So she said, "Oh well, I've got the Ouija board. Let's play the Ouija board." So I grew up in the church and have always been told, "Do not touch a Ouija board. It's a, you know, you're opening up a door to the spirit realm." And any good paranormal, you know, paranormal researcher will tell you the same thing. It's not something to play with. It is a portal. And so anyhow, they wanted to play the Ouija board, and I said, "Yeah, no, no." And her parents were actually in the room too, and she had mentioned it, and I feel like everything just kind of went, you know, like nobody was saying a word. Like, wait. She said no. I said no. I don't want to do that. And they said, "Well, come on, Jessica, why not?" And I said, "No, I don't want to do the Ouija board." And they just kept pressing and pressing. And I said,
just
"You
like
get
that
the
door.
Ouija board out. I'm calling my mom and I'm going home."
Yeah.
And like my best friend, she was like, "Come on, Jessica, why not?" And I said, "I'm serious. I'm not. We're not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be here while you play it. If you're gonna play it." And they said, "Okay, fine." So we ended up playing a board game, Sorry. Well, if you remember the board game. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
we
Yeah, I
had,
still
you
got
know,
that.
we had a great time the rest of the
Classic.
night. And so we went to bed. And so the way, all right, so I have to explain how we were laying. So Holly's bed is like here, and this is her head. Here's her feet. And she's laying in her bed. I'm down here at her feet. And then my best friend Caitlin, and then these other two girls. And then up here near Holly's head is a dresser with a mirror on the top.
Yeah.
So I have really bad eyesight without glasses or contacts. So at that age, I wore glasses. And if I slept over at somebody's house, I would always sleep with my glasses on because I'm like Velma from Scooby-Doo. You know, if I don't have my glasses on, I can't see anything. So I remember waking up, and you know how you just kind of look around and you just kind of, you know, turn over, go back to sleep. Well, that's what I did. But when I turned, I saw something sitting on Holly's bed. And I was like, "Holly?" And I realized what I was looking at was a little girl. She was about my age, and she was bright white. And she's sitting with her legs like up towards her chest. And she has a hand mirror in her left hand and a brush in her right hand. And she's just looking in her mirror, brushing her hair, just brushing her hair. And I'm like trying to make sense of this, right? And I just can't believe I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Like, what the heck? And so I start getting scared. You know, I'm a 12-year-old girl, like, and I'm seeing this thing, right? And so I start elbowing Holly. I'm like, "Holly." I start elbowing Caitlin. I'm like, Caitlin. She said, "What's going on, Jessica?" Like she was one that you don't ever wake up like in the middle of the night, you know?
Yeah.
She was, yeah. So I said, Caitlin, do you see, like, what is Holly doing?" And she said, "What are you talking about? She's sleeping." Like, and Caitlin would turn around and look up on the bed and see. And I'm like, "Come on, Caitlin, like, seriously, what is Holly doing?" And Caitlin said, "Well, she's sleeping. She's sleeping. What you should be doing right now And I said, Caitlin, seriously, you don't see what's sitting on top of the bed? And she said, no, and you're really starting to scare me, and by this time, everybody, I'm like starting to wake up everybody because I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
And so Holly starts moving. And once Holly starts moving, well, back up, I'm sorry. Every time Caitlin would turn around and look at this thing, it would take a hood and cover its head like this.
Oh, that's a trip.
And then as soon as Caitlin would look away, it would take the hood off and go back to brushing her hair. Every time. And so once everyone started waking up, especially Holly, this thing had a bright white light shined off of its back into the mirror, and it levitated up off the bed, and then it shot into the mirror. The entire room filled with this brightest, whitest light. I can't even explain. And then it was gone. And I jumped to my feet and I said, okay, everybody saw that, right?
Yeah, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Like everyone had to have seen that, right? And then the girls were like, no, and you're scaring us so badly. Like, so I just started bawling, and I went and, ran into the bathroom. And
Yeah, go ahead.
And so Caitlin comes in there and she's like, what's wrong? What, and I said, I don't understand what just happened. I have no idea what just happened, but I know what I saw. And so I just, calmed down and actually went back into the room, laid down because everyone else went back to bed. And I laid there totally still until 8 a.m. the next morning. And at 8 a.m., I remember I just kept watching the clock. 8 o'clock, I immediately got up. I called my mom. I said, I need you to come and get me right now. She came and got me. And as soon as I got into the car, I just started bawling my eyes out. And my mom is like, what is wrong? What happened? Because you can imagine your 12-year-old kid is just, you just picked them up from a sleepover and they're bawling their eyes out. So I told my mom what happened. And she said, well, let's call your grandma. So my grandma was one in your church, that awesome woman of God, the one that you would call if you needed prayer, if you needed, if someone was in the hospital and needed prayer for them. Yeah, you'd call my grandma. So my mom said, let's call your grandma and let's ask her to see if she can pray about it, and see what it was, see if you can get some closure to understanding. And my grandma, she felt like it was my guardian angel protecting me from what was in that house. And I totally feel the same way. I've heard, like, since then that people a lot of times that have seen their guardian angels, that their guardian angel is about their age, seem to be about their age. So it makes sense that it would have been my guardian angel. So that was, since that happened, it's like that opened me up more to like other things happening. So it's been pretty wild. I've had a lot of things happen. But do you mind if I just go over the event stuff really quick?
Guys, that was my bad. Let's do it.
Totally fine. No, you're totally fine. Like, my brain was just like set to just purge it, and then go into the stories or whatever.
That was all good. That was my bad. Sorry. All right,
no.
let's go into it, guys. Quick. All right, here we go. Let's go for it.
One job.
Yeah, just to give you I've got my notes because I want to make sure I don't miss anything about the event. But basically, my friend Kim and I are putting on this event called Encounter Quest. She and I are both vendors. We have cryptid merchandise, and that's how we met, was at a cryptid event, and we just kind of hit it off. And she said, hey, I was thinking about putting on an event myself. Do you want to put one on with me? I said, absolutely. So here comes Encounter Quest basically in 2 months, April 1st. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. basically. That's Saturday. We're going to have vendors and speakers. Our vendors will be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's free to browse the vendors. Speakers they start at 10, so from 10 to 5:20. And then we'll have what's called Encounter Share at 5:30 to 6:30, which is where attendees can basically speak to the panel of speakers and go over their encounters and get the speakers' feedback. Tickets. So in order to listen to the vendors, you just have to buy tickets. So general admission is $25. Kids 12 and under are free. It's $20 for military, veterans, law enforcement, first responders, or senior citizens. And then just go over some highlights of our speakers. So Ron Moorhead, he's world renowned in the Bigfoot community for Sierra Sounds. And the Sierra Sounds are the only Bigfoot recordings that have been scientifically studied and are accredited as genuine. He's going to be speaking on the quantum Bigfoot, where he's going to tie in quantum physics with Bigfoot and paranormal. So I'm really excited about that. Then we'll have the Squatch Watchers. They're a really popular group of researchers from Western North Carolina.
I know those guys.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're super cool. They've been investigating Bigfoot and the paranormal for over a decade. And they're also going to be the MC for the event. And yeah, they're a lot of fun. So you can follow them on their journey on YouTube, and they upload new videos all the time. And then there's Kenny Irish, the crypto-punkologist. He's a
Mohawk.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cool. He's a cryptid investigator and an author. He's appeared on countless documentaries and TV shows. And in March 2021, he released a book called American Cryptids in Pursuit of the Elusive Creatures. And that was actually a 3-time #1 bestseller on Amazon. And he's going to be speaking on Dogman. And Dogman, I'm super excited about because I feel like there's been a lot more encounters that people are, coming out with recently. So I'm excited to hear about that one.
Yeah, and on that note, I feel like there are going to be way more Dogman encounters here in the South. I don't know, after talking to a few guys we have, and especially Nick Valenti, and that's what he specializes in.
Yeah.
So, get ready.
Yeah, right. And then we have Cryptids of the Corn podcast. That's a group of 3 friends, Justin, Jay, and Emily. And Justin's a biologist, so he's able to bring a different perspective to the cryptid world. And the very cool thing about this is that the audience gets to vote on their topic that they're going to speak on. So from now until March 15th, you can go onto encounterquest.com. And if you go under Cryptids of the Corn, there will be a link there, and you can actually vote up until March 15th on what topic you want them to speak on at the event. So
I already voted.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You would.
I did.
That's awesome.
I did. I'm sorry, I did.
That's awesome. I love that. That is great. And then we have Daryl Sims. He's also known as the Alien Hunter. He has an extensive, his credentials are pretty amazing. So I just condensed them.
He's a cowboy guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's world-renowned expert on alien abductions. He's worked for the CIA,
Ooh.
He had top secret clearance. He was first abducted at the age of 4. First abducted at the age of 4. He's an Army veteran. He's a senior military police officer. He was a former senior Korean national police officer. He's spoken in 19 different countries. He has a permanent exhibit at the Roswell Museum. And he has 38 plus years of field research that led to groundbreaking discoveries of alien implants and alien fluorescence. Like, I remember in the 80s watching TV and hearing about alien implants.
Yeah.
That was Daryl Sims. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like, you know, he's going to be at the event. But I never heard of alien fluorescence. So I'm really excited to see that. He's also the first UFO researcher to be invited to lecture on alien abduction by the American Medical Association.
Holy crap.
It's right. Yeah.
Wow.
And so when I saw that, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? The American Medical Association had him speak?
Are
Like,
they okay?
wow. So he has the largest collection of physical evidence of alien human contact. And he's going to be bringing a lot of these to the event. I mean, we're talking skin samples, DNA samples, x-rays, MRIs, sonograms. Like, sonograms.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, that's wild. So a really cool thing that he's going to be doing is a special add-on event Friday night. So Friday night, he's going to be doing a double workshop event. So he's going to be presenting alien evidence and implant testing. So you'll be able to have like one-on-one with him, and you will learn how to find evidence on each other using his equipment. It should be pretty wild. And then
you make
also,
friends real quick. That like,
do what?
man, that's a real quick way to make it, I guess, an easy friend.
Yeah.
Oh, first time? Yeah. Oh man.
And then also secrets to handwriting analysis. Learn how to analyze others through their handwriting. So that should be really cool. Tickets for that, though, have to be purchased separately, and they have to be purchased ahead of time because we have limited seating. So those have to be purchased online.
Yeah.
And then just to let you know about the venue, like, the venue is awesome. When Kim and I were looking for a place, we wanted it, of course, to be nice, but we wanted the speakers' presentations to be seen very well and also to be heard very well, because we've known in the past of somewhere it's been hard to see for people, or you can't hear the speakers. So we definitely wanted that. And seats, we wanted the seats to be comfortable, because you're going to be sitting all day, right? With taking some breaks in between. So I wanted the seats to be comfortable. Well, the auditorium actually has a movie theater screen, and the audio is amazing. So you'll be able to see and hear very clearly, and then be seated in these really nice, comfortable chairs. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're very, very excited about that. It's going to be an awesome event. I'm excited. Like, I would want to go if I wasn't putting it on.
Seriously. It's amazing you got these many like headliners, man. These heavy hitters. It's amazing
Thank
you got
you.
all these guys.
Thank you. Yeah, they're great. I really can't wait. Just like a side note, so like when my brother and I do these events and stuff, like, we have a lot of people that come and tell us their encounters.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to encounters since like 2018 with podcasts and stuff. And I'm kind of a nerd, so I take notes.
Yeah.
And just listening to encounters, it's amazing. Like, you have some that are really just blow your mind, right? Like, they're incredible, and you're like, it really makes you question what are these things, you know? Where did they come from? And like, one thing in the Bigfoot community that has really bothered me is that there's some investigators that, as soon as they hear someone like the woo, you know, talking, you know, like something different other than flesh and blood, right? If anyone starts speaking anything other than flesh and blood, it's like these investigators, oh yeah, no, I don't want to hear it, you know, kind of thing. Like, they just shut it off.
Yeah, the basics.
But you can't do that. You can't do that as an investigator, right? You got to take everybody's account. So like, just some of the unusual things were like, you know, UFOs and orbs, right? Like, seeing those before or after an encounter with Bigfoot.
Yep.
And then, like, what about the single footprints in the middle of, like, you know, a field full of
disappear.
snow? Yeah.
Portals, like, stuff like that. Yeah.
What the heck? And then, like, there's been several accounts too of like female Bigfoots saving humans from a male Bigfoot attack. Like, what's up with that too, right? And bears aren't going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to them. And then the big one for me that really, really made me stop and say, what the heck are these things? Is hearing numerous accounts of people where they feel like they're about to die. They are having a very bad and, you know, negative encounter with a Bigfoot, and they know, I'm about to die. So what do most people do? They start praying. Mm-hmm. Even those who aren't really Christian, they start praying.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you say, dear God, Jesus, Lord, help me, save me, as soon as they say that, these things literally turn around and walk away.
Yep.
Why? You can't say that to a bear. I mean, you can, but bear's probably going to just maul you to death, you know? Like,
well, yeah. Well, it's also, to me, it's also kind of the same thing, like with the whole alien aspect. Like,
are you ready to level up your podcast game? Introducing Superpass, the ultimate all-in-one platform made by podcasters for podcasters. Imagine having access to a sleek website builder, the most powerful content app maker on the market, engaging courses, a thriving community, Patreon, and exclusive membership perks, all in one place. With a Netflix-inspired layout that's both professional and creative, Superpass is the perfect place to grow your audience and take your podcast to the next level. Don't miss out. Join the Superpass revolution today. Check out superpass.com and get a 2-week free trial. Link in the show notes.
To me, with aliens, I don't think they're outer dimensional. I think they're interdimensional. You can call it what you want. In my opinion, I think they're fallen angels. But there's been a lot of abductees that their abductions have stopped when they said, in Jesus' name, stop. And there's this guy who started up the CE4 project. His name's Derek something, I forgot, but he used to work for MUFON. And if you look at MUFON's investigations and stuff, they don't talk about that. Mm-hmm. But he started to bring that up back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and they fired him for it.
Really?
Yeah, because they found out if he keeps talking about this stuff, because he was starting to tell people who were getting
abducted.
We're getting abducted. Like, hey, you need to start, reading your Bible. You need to start going to church. If you just say in Jesus' name, these things will stop. And he did, and that kind of broke out like fire, and people started to do it. Well, abductions started to kind of decline.
Yeah.
And these people try to tell other MUFON agents what was going on, and they're like, "No, that's bull crap," and they're just trying to bury it. And like basically, like a lot of like these Bigfoot encounter stuff too. Like, you hear that, but you don't hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. To me, there's more than just it being a physical blood creature. To me, You know, there's more of like a spiritual warfare, like a cryptid warfare
Yeah.
going on. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally my frustration with those who are just, no, it's only flesh and blood and that's it.
Exactly.
Because I feel like you're calling those other people liars who are seeing this stuff happen, you know?
Oh, yeah,
And so, like you were saying, I brought that up um, to a friend of mine who's the head of MUFON. I don't want to say, because I didn't ask him if I could say, but I asked him. He's also a Bigfoot researcher. I said, why is it that you say in the name of Jesus or God, Lord, help me, these things, Bigfoot, they'll turn around and walk away, like they will leave. And he said, you know what, aliens will do the same thing. And I said, are you kidding me? I didn't know that. I just learned that back in October when he told me, and I was just like freaking out, like, oh my, like, wow, like, blew my mind. And so one awesome thing is that Ron Moorhead, he's an amazing investigator, because he started noticing I have all these credible witnesses coming forward saying the same thing, right?
Yep.
And they don't know each other from Adam, but they're coming forward saying, I'm standing in the middle of a field, there's no trees around, and I see a Bigfoot right in front of me, and all of a sudden the Bigfoot is gone, like just completely disappears.
Yeah.
And like I've heard other investigators say, oh, well, it's because Bigfoots, they're just so fast and you were just caught up in the moment of seeing one, so they probably just ran so fast and you just didn't pay attention or didn't see it.
Oh, it's the same thing, kind of like with the whole dogman aspect too.
Mm-hmm.
First they visually appear there, and all of a sudden they're gone. Like, people call them portals, interdimensional, whatever. Like, it's just they're just jumping in and out of.
Yeah, and they could be. They could be. We don't know, right? Like,
we don't.
Yeah. So it's
but
I love that Ron took that information and he said, there's something to this.
There is.
And so he started doing research, and from his research came the Quantum Bigfoot. And that's where his book, came about. So he's going to be talking about that.
Yeah.
And, oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, but go ahead.
I was going to say, Daryl Sims too. He's going to bring the alien aspect into it to try to help make sense of it. So I just want to challenge other investigators, researchers, or people that really want to know what these things are. I want to challenge them to come and listen to all of our speakers, listen to all of the theories and the opinions that they have, and the information that they're going to present. Come with an open mind and no bias, and just, listen to what they have to say. Because, you don't have to agree with their theories. You just need to listen. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, not only that, too, it just kind of brought up a lot of, just when you're talking about that, it's brought up a lot of things I was doing research on back in the day. With old Dare Sims, brought me to, like, an investigation on, like, 411.
Yeah.
He, also, too, it brings me up to when, like in Europe, like back in, like, the medieval times, they've written down and talked about forest fairies, right? But forest fairies, if you read it back in their texts, it's not like how we think of fairies nowadays, right? The wings and stuff like that. They're small people. You go out into the forest to play tricks on you, and next thing you know, you'll wake up somewhere else a day or two later. Missing time, clothes gone. Well, what does that add up to now? It's just a different face mask on it. An alien abduction. Small grays, missing time.
Yep.
You end up somewhere else. It's weird. Yeah, just kind of just all these breadcrumbs, But also too, just like Zook, like in our podcast, I try to look at things like biblically. That's just kind of where I come in, and then Zook does all the other stuff. But it's so interesting.
It's funny you say that, because I actually watched one of Daryl's presentations that he's done in the past, and he actually mentioned exactly what you're talking about, and he said those are aliens.
Yeah. Oh.
He specifically, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He said they are aliens.
Somebody's smart.
Yeah.
Cool
So
things.
that's really cool that you said that. Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff too. Like we're trying to hit up L.A. Marzulli when it comes to like the Nephilim giants and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Good books.
There's just
really good books.
so
L.A.
much stuff
Marzulli
out there.
just came out with 4 DVDs, like 4 movies on or documentaries on UFOs. Actually ordered them and they're coming in Monday. I can't wait to watch.
Oh my gosh, that could be like a virtual
Well, speaking of the Nephilim, we're going to be interviewing Gary Wayne next month.
You are?
Yeah, we're going to be interviewing Gary
He's
Wayne.
reading the book.
And I'm like,
unfortunately,
I'm trying to
I've got
crush the
for,
book.
like,
I'm trying to
year
crush
now.
it. Well,
have not
Zook's had
touched
it for like, how long did you have it
It's
for? Like 6
intimidating.
years? So I just got it
For
like
a long
last month.
time.
So I'm like trying to crush it as fast as I
Wow.
can. So
Yeah.
we're interviewing him that month. And then like 2 weeks after, we're interviewing Derek Gilbert from Skywatch.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So we're pretty excited about that.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah.
But anyways, but like I said, you got some heavy hitters, girl. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get this out there. Like, I don't know. And I'm excited because I'm doing something different with the podcast. I don't know if you listen to Tony Merkel's, but I love his style.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start.
Matter
of fact,
I was on his podcast not too long ago.
Oh yeah, I'm just standing in the background.
Yeah, that's where me and Zook
recording it.
Me and Zook went to that.
I need to listen to that one.
Yeah, me and Zook went to that first like Dogman conference in Paris,
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee. So I was over there like selling my art, and Tony Merkel was next to me, so we were just chatting the whole time. And,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, got to meet a lot of cool people out there.
Very cool. I know we wanted to go to that one, but it was like it was a 9-hour or 11-hour drive for us.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
There are people who drove really freaking far, like Texas and think further.
Wow.
Then I saw the Mohawk Man. I mean, it was so cool. Like just the people we meet and whatnot. And Drewski, this is what I talked. This is I was telling Drewski I might have to hop off early, but I still want this to continue. Just the wife's been watching Little Man for a while, and I need to go put him down. So
probably still be talking when you come
back. He likes to sleep in, buddy. You probably will. Like, I'm gonna leave this open, but man, I'm really bummed. Like, but it's just life. Like right now, and this will be something to look forward to because I want to listen to it in the morning, even though I won't stop recording. So I'm like, just please hang up. Make sure you do that. But let's see. Man, I wanted to add so many things because this event, $25 to get in, and you can view the vendors for free. So that's nice. You don't have to pay for that.
Yeah,
I know plenty of events that charge for stuff like that. And two, like these big like specialists, I mean, they are world renowned for the most part, or at least in the community that we're in. So, and guys, just like this year, for example, like it'll never happen the way it is going to this time, because this will be the first time. So it's like it's a really big deal that it's going to happen, because next year it will never be the same. Like it's going to keep getting better and better. But I mean, shoot, even this year, like the people that you're having there is just big. I freaking wish we could make it, but I think that's when my other little one is due. So I know it sucks, man. I'm not gonna lie, like it sucks. We're like. I'm like, oh, dang it.
You're locked down, guy.
I know. But don't worry. I'll be locked down for like 18 years. You know what? But no, but anyway, I know little man's trying to tear at the door. He's a sleepy little guy. So, yeah, dang it. I had so many other things I wanted to bring up. Oh, yeah, it was about Bigfoot and levitation and jumping in and out of dimensions. And also, whenever you talked about all these people that walk in with confirmation bias mindsets and only those point of views, it's so crazy, because in science you have to be open-minded. And that's why I mean, I know the Bible isn't a book of science, but it's good to back up everything that you look into with scripture, because it has to line up. And with especially with what I've been through, I mean, I am open-minded to science, and I'm a big believer in science to an extent. Science will not prove everything, and science only lasts for so long. I mean, there are certain like fundamentals of science that won't change, like it's just who we are, our DNA structures. But then science improves with the technology that they make. So it's like every decade or so they start to find out more, and they'll start to kind of reformat like textbooks and stuff where they said, oh, this is right, just kind of like bogus evolution. Like, I mean, there's so much freaking evidence like the evolution. I don't know, I just wish they would teach both sides, like creationism and
Yeah.
evolution.
Yeah. Stop being one-sided. Yeah.
Anybody listening who believes in evolution or whatever, just I'm not hating on you. I'm just please do your research and don't just follow what like the school system, government owned, is kind of feeding you. But it's not just about government owned. Sorry for a little soapbox, because there could be a lot of homeschooling type stuff that feeds you a lot of stuff. So please do your own research. And with that said, I'm out. There's my mic. No kidding.
All right.
Oh, we hear him.
Yeah.
Oh crap. I'm kidding. He has a giant hand. What a baby. Okay.
But
Crap.
yeah, just on that note, I mean, I know you gotta go, but my mom, she's always taught me, like, when I was a kid, she said, question everything, and you'll find that your faith will grow stronger. And I have found that 100%. Question everything, and then don't take any other people's word for it. Look it up yourself, and yeah, your faith will grow.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing. And and faith is tested over time, and through that it's refined. And then in James, man, I'm blanking out right now because I'm just
bro,
tired,
who's
I'll be
James?
honest.
Who's James? You mean
I
the
know.
Book of James.
Yeah. The Book of James. Yeah, and how, I don't know, he just gives an example of how things are refined through fire. And then there's a
Right.
process
The
of
refiner's
the
fire. Yeah.
process and all this. And I'm like, man, James, motherfucking James, he's cool. I know I shouldn't say that, sorry. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I'm about to
zone out, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so so Encounter Quest 2023. Got it. All right. Yeah, we'll still be here, Zook. So just go do your thing, man. All right. Anyways. Okay. Anyway, so yeah.
So yeah. So I'll give you a little bit of background on me, I guess. So I grew up in a suburb of Richmond, Virginia. I have amazing, wonderful Christian parents. Grew up in an awesome home. I'm very blessed with that. I have 2 older brothers. I kind of got into the subject of Bigfoot like when I was younger. I was probably 10. I discovered Unsolved Mysteries. Do you remember that TV show?
I love that show.
Love Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, it's
like
still
because they were all about
they brought it back on.
Yeah,
Brought it back on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about missing people, Bigfoot, aliens. I mean, miracles too were on there. And so like I was always obsessed with monkeys. I've loved monkeys ever since I was little. And so when I saw Bigfoot on Unsolved Mysteries, I was like, that's a huge monkey. And so ever since then, I've just loved Bigfoot. And then, then when a couple of years, I was 12, that's when I saw what I think is my guardian angel. And so it's been pretty, like I have had a lot to happen, paranormal wise.
Yeah.
But just speaking about Bigfoot though, I think I kind of had like that light come on so it was probably back in maybe 2010, 2011, maybe around then, where I was going through stuff in my life, and I was doing a lot of hiking, but I was going by myself, which is really stupid to do for a girl. Girls should never go hiking by themselves. But I went hiking by myself to try to clear my head, and there was this there was a trail I would go on. Been on it several times, and there I always remember seeing a really cool tree structure. And this is in the middle of the Shenandoah National Park. And so I just assumed, this is before I really got into Bigfoot and started listening to podcasts. So I didn't know anything. And so I saw this coolest tree structure every time I would go. And I just thought, okay, well, maybe this father and son were camping and they decided they'd make this elaborate tree structure. And every time I go, I'd see it and I would just walk past it. But this time I went, I said, I want to sit, I want to get in that thing. I want to see what it's like. So I got in it and I'm sitting there looking out like, wow, this is really cool. This is neat. I sat there for a couple minutes, got out, kept walking, and you go around this turn, and as I go around the turn, I see two huge trees that had been turned over or uprooted, and whenever I would see those, I always like to dig under the roots, because who knows what's under those roots. It could be arrowheads, it could be old coins, you never know. So I was standing there like, just kind of analyzing, okay, which one am I going to start digging under? And all of a sudden, like there was probably 6 foot tall weeds beside me, and all of a sudden, if a horse could growl, that's what I heard. And it was like straight trajected down into my ear.
Yeah.
If a horse could growl. And I mean, I jumped and I put my hands up and I walked backwards back to my car. And I mean, fast forward to like.
How far were you from your car?
I would say, oh gosh, I was probably a half mile. It wasn't like an easy, simple walk back to the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a scary walk back, that's for sure. And so fast forward to like maybe, I don't know, 8, 9 years later, I'm listening to a podcast, getting ready for work, and it's like the light came on. Oh my gosh, this was a big tree structure. There were trees turned over. And then this crazy, sound, like as if a horse could growl, that, how they can been known to mimic other animals.
Yeah.
I feel like that could have been, a Bigfoot. Because I remember that day, it just felt so ominous, like so, like, like you felt like you were being watched.
Yeah, basically know something's up. Yeah. Now when it did that, did you feel like the growl? Did you feel it throughout your body?
Oh yes.
Did it kind of knock you off a little bit?
Absolutely.
So you got a little bit of infrasound.
Yeah, I really feel like that's what it was. And I could tell, like, it's weird because I felt like the way it was trajected, like it was just perfect.
Yeah.
In my ear. Like it wasn't from way up high or, way back behind me or anything. It was straight in my ear.
Yeah.
And I could tell like that it was reserved somewhat in the way it did it. But I don't know why, but I just knew.
Like, I'm just gonna give you a little bit.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a warning to, you're in my space and you need to move.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So that was wild. That was wild, and that was my big. Yeah.
Long trek back, walking backwards.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. But like, ever since that thing happened when I was 12, it's like, it is like, it made me more sensitive to things. Like, I've always been sensitive in general to like, even watching like something scary on TV or even action-packed movies, like I'm there. I am in it. I am experiencing everything that the person on TV is experiencing, like to the point where I hate it.
Yeah.
Like and so like it got to the point where like if I walk into an old house, I have to pray before I go into the house. If I don't know what's in the house, and there could be a spirit that's not good. So I have to pray before I go into an old home. It's like I like Civil War history, so I really like to go to these these old plantation homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Definitely have to pray before I go in there. My boyfriend's uncle he was renovating a house in Roanoke, Virginia, and I went with him to go and look at the house, and he was probably about 70% of the way done. Yeah. And I forgot to pray before I went into that house, and this was an old home, and we're in there, and I could feel several different spirits there, like several.
Yeah.
But I still forgot to pray, and when we left, we're in the car, and I started getting a headache. Still, I should have still realized then, okay, I should have known then what it was, but still didn't. And I thought, well, maybe I haven't eaten enough today, whatever. But the headache just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And when I got home, it was like this migraine. So I just took medicine and fell asleep in a recliner. So this recliner, it's called a cuddler. It's where like two people can recline.
Yeah.
And so I fell asleep beside my boyfriend, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I have this, I'm choking. I have this thing on top of me. And mind you, this was also during a time where I wasn't living the way I should have been.
Yeah.
I had a rake on top of me. And for people who don't know what a rake is, it is the most evil looking thing I've ever seen. Kind of looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, but more of a whitish color, whitish gray. It's on top of me. So I open up my eyes. It is in my face.
Yeah.
That ugly, disgusting face.
Yeah.
And it has its hand in my mouth and grabbed my tongue.
Oy.
And is trying to yank my tongue out. It is like I've only told a handful of people this
Holy
story
crap,
because
man.
it gave me PTSD. Like,
yeah.
I could not just thinking of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when something like that happens, you're frozen.
Yeah.
And you just woke up, and I'm choking. I'm trying so hard to pray, trying so hard to at least try to move. And what people don't understand, these things are strong. And when I say strong, they are spiritually strong, to the point where you are trying so hard to get the name Jesus out.
Yeah.
So hard. And you have to, it's like a breakthrough. You have to.
You got to fight. You got to fight through it. Yeah.
You do. And that's what I was doing, because you are fighting for your life. And so that's exactly what was happening. And it finally just like shook, like, Jesus, the name of Jesus. And he finally let go and fled and just went through the wall, out through the wall.
Man, yeah, I believe that.
Awful.
Yeah. Was it a form of like sleep paralysis, you think?
It kind of feels like that.
Yeah. Kind of feels like it's heavy. It was on your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're shaking With every ounce of your being, from the inside out, you're trying to shake.
It feels like, you're basically like your jaw's locked, and you're trying to say, in the name of Jesus, get off.
Yeah.
And you can't. You're like, you can't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is the worst. It's the worst feeling.
I've had that. I'm gonna tell you a quick one. I've had that happen to me 3 to 4 times already. Sleep paralysis, the same thing. I was the head of security at my church at the time. We did a worship night. I got home about 1 in the morning. I usually pray with my kids and my wife before I go to bed and all that, but I didn't. Everyone was asleep, so I don't want to bug anybody, so I just laid down on the couch. I was out, right?
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I hear walking in my hallway from my front door to my living room.
Get ready for some monster-sized entertainment with no pesky ads. Subscribe to our Cryptid podcast for just a few coins a month and listen to all the spooky tales of the unknown creatures in commercial-free bliss. It's like having a personal Bigfoot guide without all the foot odor. So, what are you waiting for? Get your subscription now and join the hunt for the truth today. Link in the show notes. If you're looking for one-of-a-kind art that is sure to make you stand out from the crowd, then look no further than Drew's Tags. Drewski has created a world of custom art that will take you on a wild ride through sports, space, travel, military, cryptids, and beyond. Whether you're a fan of Bigfoot, a reptilian, conspiracy theorist, or just someone who appreciates a good pun, Drewski has something for everyone. So why settle for a boring old print when you can have a custom creation that is as unique as you are? Reach out to Drewski today and get started on your one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Check out his Instagram link in the show notes.
Well, I wake up and I couldn't move. I'm like, oh crap. So I can't move. And next thing I know, I see Vince Vaughn. You know who Vince Vaughn is, right?
Yeah.
From Wedding Crashers, yeah. But he's like 7'5", Vince Vaughn.
Wow.
And he's in his suit and he's like, hey, what's up, buddy? Can't move, huh? And he starts laughing at me and he's at the foot of the couch. And he smiles and then his smile goes away and he rips his face off and it's a Grim Reaper.
Oh my gosh.
And the Grim Reaper gets this close to my face, it's like how basically just how like the rake was to you.
Yeah.
He gets this close to my face and he has like this that type of thing in front of me. Well, I'm trying to say in Jesus' name, get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, I kept coming up short. I was like, and it was a fight for my life. It took me about a good minute and a half to get it out. And then when I finally did, he just disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel.
Exactly. Yeah. 100% what it is. And it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying doesn't even describe it. Like horrifying and beyond. But anyway.
Wait, buddy.
We survived, thank the Lord.
Man, that was good. I'm just imagining grabbing your tongue like, dang. I'm like, damn, boy, wash your hands.
Right? Like seriously. Honestly, I felt like I was raped almost. Like, because it's one thing to be on top of you. It's another thing to be in your mouth.
And just doing whatever he wants, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Can't do a damn thing about it.
Right. And I remember going to work for like 2 weeks and not saying anything to anybody unless I had to. And my friend, she finally was like, what's going on with you? Like, you've been really standoffish, they haven't said much. And I told her what happened, and because she's known of other things that have happened to me. And I told her, and she was like, I can't believe you didn't tell me. And I said, I feel like I have PTSD. Like, I didn't want to talk about it to anyone. Like, it was awful. And I heard, I was listening to one of y'all's podcasts where this guy was talking about a rake. And I think he said it was in 2010, maybe. But the way he was describing it, he was like, it was near my area. I'm pretty sure it was y'all's podcast.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if that was the rake that attacked me, that left my house, and then it goes and I don't know. But
You never know. You never know.
yeah, all I know is this stuff is real. It is 100% real.
I agree. I 100% agree with that. And certain people like to put their head in the sand and pretend it doesn't exist or it's taboo, but it's real.
Yeah.
100% real.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
I
Shoot,
have.
I'm getting the heebie-jeebies thinking about your experience. God bless.
Yeah. I have like this one, another one I could share with you. It's kind of long.
Sorry.
Okay. So.
We got a while. Let's look in here, so we're good.
Okay. So, so I was telling you how I like to go and visit Civil War places. Well, my ex-husband, my husband at the time, he said, well, how about if we go to Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina? I said, oh yeah, that would be awesome. Where the Civil War first started.
Yeah.
So we get a hotel at the Andrew Pinckney Hotel there in Charleston. We had purposefully waited to eat dinner. Like, we were starving when we arrived. Like, I think it was probably 9:30 when we arrived, but we wanted to eat in Charleston. So we were like, okay, let's go get our hotel room, put our bags in there, and then we'll go out, get something to eat and come back and just relax. So we get our room, go inside, and as soon as we get inside, I'm like, oh, there's something here.
Oh yeah, you feel it.
Oh my goodness, yes. There's something here, and it's in that corner, and it's right beside the bed. I'm gonna sleep on this side of the bed. I'm gonna have the other end. But like my ex-husband, zero sensitivity to any of that stuff, which was good.
Yeah.
So we put our stuff down and go get something to eat and come back. And I'm like dreading going back, but yeah. So we go back, and so like, here's the bed. He's here. He's laying here. I'm here. And we're watching TV. And he's watching the show I Survived. I hated that show because being sensitive. Oh, I hated that show. I was there in the moment, right? Like, I'm with that person struggling through their, it was awful. Like, I could tell you everything throughout what I'm about to tell you. I could tell you everything that was happening on TV at the same time of everything happening to me. So I know that right beside me, or right beside my ex-husband, is a short statured man in the corner, and he is just waiting. He is just waiting for his time to grab me. So I want to hurry up and get to sleep. I'm tired, but I want to fall asleep before my husband does. So I laying there, and as soon as I shut my eyes, that man in the corner comes right up to my face, and I mean right in my ear.
Ah, hell.
And he says, let me take you somewhere, or let me take you there. Something like that. I'm going to take you there. Let me take you there. As soon as he says that, we are immediately on a battlefield.
Yeah. I
am laying on my stomach on a battlefield, holding a musket in my hands.
Like you're like in a prone position.
Yeah, and I am terrified, obviously. I am looking all around in my surroundings. I am on a battlefield. I'm in a field. Probably October because there's leaves on the ground, but they're also still in the trees. They're yellow, beautiful.
Yeah.
And I look to my right, and there's this kid. And I say kid because he couldn't have been a day over 16. and he's beside me also holding a musket, and he's like, let me tell you what's going on. And like, he's all excited to tell me what's going on. He said, what happened is, you see over there, there's the two generals. There's the Union and the Confederate. And I was on the Confederate side.
Yeah.
And he said, they know each other. They're really good friends, and they don't want to fight. And what happened is we accidentally came upon each other, and they don't want to fight each other. So we're having this secret meeting to say, you go that way, we'll go this way, and we'll act like this never happened. And he said, if you look up in the trees behind the bushes, you'll see blues and grays. And it's just, they're there as a just in case anything happens, but nothing's going to happen. You'll be fine. And I see them, and I look and I see the Civil War general is the one that was in that corner of the room beside the bed. That's him. I'm looking at him, and he's talking to the Union general. And I'm freaking out. Like, this is nothing like this had ever happened to me, and it never happened to me before. And I start freaking out, and I realize my body is still back in the bedroom because I can hear the TV show.
You astral projected?
Yeah. And I never heard of astro projection. Never heard of it until several years later. I was watching TV, and I'm like, that lady is completely like describing what happened to me.
Yeah.
And so when I realized that my body was still in that bed and that I could hear the TV, I start trying to shake myself back in. Yeah. So I'm like trying with all my might to get back into myself. And to the point where when I finally do, I'm like, ugh, like, my arms go crazy. I scream, like, and my husband's like, what's wrong? Like, it freaks him out. Like, what? Are you okay?
Heck yeah. Oh, heck yeah. It's dead quiet. All of a sudden you hear that. What the freak?
Right. Like, I'm flailing my arms like, oh, like, and I said, I'm fine. I just had a nightmare. I'm fine.
Do you realize where I've been?
I know. I didn't tell him anything until we left. Like, I'll get to that for sure. But I was like, nothing. I'm fine. I'm okay. I just had a nightmare. Yeah, that's it. I just had a nightmare. I'm fine. He's like, okay. So I knew that as soon as I shut my eyes, something else was going to happen. I just knew.
Yeah.
And sure enough, once again, I was taken somewhere, and I had to do the same thing. I had to shake to get myself back. I could still hear the TV. And it just took all my might to get back, like just shook, and then finally, again. And my husband's like, what is going on? Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm sorry, it must have been another nightmare. I'm fine. It's all good, And so I'm freaking out at this point, right? Like, I will tell you that second place I went to was hell.
Oh.
I'll tell you that, but I'll get into more detail about that in a minute. When that third time that I went to shut my eyes, because I wanted to get to sleep before my husband had gone to sleep. That third time, when I shut my eyes, I could see in my mind a line of spirits. And when I say a line of spirits, I mean it was as far as the eye could see. it had to have been well over 250 spirits lined up beside my bed, just waiting for their time to take me wherever they wanted to take me.
Yeah.
That was terrifying.
Jesus.
And the next one in line was a female. And once again, I was instantly, like, as soon as I saw that line and I started saying, oh my dear Lord.
It's gonna be a long night.
Right. Yeah. As soon as I saw that line, bam. She took me to, actually took me to the corner of the hotel room. And she said, I want you to look out the window. I looked out the window and I looked down onto the cobblestone streets. And she said, I want you to look at all the spirits that are walking the street. And I'm freaking out still, right? Because this is my third flipping time of being taken out of my body, against my will. And in another heartbeat, in another second, we are now on the street. I was looking down at these spirits walking the street. Now I'm on the street, watching them right in front of me.
Yeah.
So I look to my right, and there's like an old carriage with horses. People are on the carriage. I look, and there's just tons of people just walking, but they're from all walks of life, from all years. We're talking like pioneer days to now, recent.
Okay.
But I specifically recall the lady that took me there. She was standing beside me, and we see a slave walking towards us. And you could tell that he had on clothes that he probably had, these same clothes that he'd probably been wearing for like 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, they were torn and tattered. The legs, were too short. The sleeves were too short. And he and this lady that I was with, they looked at each other as they were passing, and he was carrying these two jugs of jugs of water, it looked like.
Yeah.
And he looked at her and she looked at him, and they acknowledged each other. And you could clearly tell that they knew each other and they liked each other, but they knew that they couldn't
do anything. Yeah.
Exactly. They knew that they couldn't be open about it. And so they kind of just nodded as they walked by. And, still I'm freaking out because I know what's going on now, that I'm being taken for these people to show me all these things. So once again, I start trying to shake myself back into my body, and I'm finally do it. And, once again, and my husband's like, okay, what is going on? Like, I'm really starting to freak him out.
Yeah.
And I told him, it's okay. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. It's just bad dreams.
He's like, I'm seriously going to tape you to this bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so I don't know how to process all this, right? Like, like I said, this has never happened to me. Seeing ghosts is one thing.
Yeah.
Being completely taken out of your body to somewhere else.
But back to back to back to back. Come on, man. Wow.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like, and so I remember immediately, my dad, his voice came to my head, like saying, you know what to do. You can call on God, you call on Jesus, you rebuke them, and they will leave you alone. And that's what I did. I told them to leave me alone. I was going to sleep, that they weren't going to mess with me anymore. And they did. I slept great the rest of the night. But I also had to pray about that second encounter, like the second. I know I went to hell.
Yeah.
I prayed that God would let me forget it, like completely wipe it from my memory, because I knew I wouldn't be able to handle it. I knew that would change me, that it would change who I am.
Yeah.
If I remembered it. And so I prayed that he would wipe my memory clean, only of the second one, because I wanted to remember everything else.
Yeah.
Because I felt like there was purpose behind the other two. And he did. He absolutely did. I woke up the next morning. I could not remember that second one. Not at all. And I still to this day don't remember it. And I don't want to remember it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the third one, like the lady, she just wanted to show me what it was like in her time, to have a friend and not be able to be open about that,
Yeah.
But going back to the general, I knew that there was something to that, right? Like,
Yeah.
So I prayed about it, and I knew that God was going to show me the answer when it was the right time.
Yeah.
So it was like maybe, I don't know how much time had passed, but I had gone to visit my mom in Richmond, and she said, "Hey, there's a Civil War showcase that they're having downtown. You want to go to it?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." Because my mom loves Civil War. She loves history. So yeah, we were super excited to go.
Yeah.
And I told my mom the story too of what had happened, and she said, "You never know, you might find out who this general was." So we got there and had a great time. Met a lot of great people, and it was like 4:50, and it was ending at 5 o'clock. So at 4:50, the vendors had started packing up and stuff. And I saw this huge, like this really thick book called Confederate Generals of the South. And it was like that book was calling me.
Yeah.
So I picked it up and I said, "Yeah, how much is this?" And the guy was like, it was 20. And he said, "But actually I'll give it to you for 10. And I was like, "Oh, that's nice, thanks." And so I went to give him my credit card, and he said, "Oh, we've already turned off our credit card machine."
Dang.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh man," and I don't have any cash, and my mom didn't have any cash. And he said, "Well, wait a minute, let me see if my friend, if they still have their credit card machine up, because maybe we can work it out that way." So went and asked his friend. No, his friend had already turned theirs off. So he was like, "You know what? Just you can have it." And I was like, "Wait, what? Really?" And he said, "Yeah, you can have it." And so I was like, "Thank you so much." Then I really knew, okay, yeah, I'm supposed to have this book. So we get in the car, and my mom's like, "Jessica, we got to start looking now. We got to start looking now to see if we can, come across the general." And I was like, "Well, let's get home first, Mom." So we got home, and my mom actually opened up the book and she put it on my lap. And there he was, like right there, first page, Confederate Generals of South Carolina, right there. Benjamin, I don't know if it's Huger or Hugger, Huger. Benjamin Hugger or Huger. That was him. I was like, that was him to a T. The white hair, he was short, he was skinny. And he had the mustache. To a T, that was him. And so remember, I was staying at the Pinckney Hotel.
Yeah.
Benjamin Huger was married to, yeah, that's him. 100%. He was married to a Pinckney. Yeah. And we were staying in the Pinckney Hotel.
That's a trip.
And after we left the hotel, I realized like there's a street right there called Huger Street, Huger. Like that's his name.
I think this lines up.
Right. So I was like, that is him. That is 100% him. And he, sir, when he was in the Civil War, his troop came to the Shenandoah Valley, which is where I live.
Oh, it's a
So
trip.
that's where the connection was. That's why he felt a connection to me. I was where, and the thing is, he has actually been called the scapegoat in the Civil War because there's just this whole thing that he got a lot of blame for. They call him the scapegoat general. And it happened in the Shenandoah Valley. It's where I live. It just came full circle, you know? Like it made total sense as to why he chose me. So that was a really wild experience. And I can say since then, I have astro projected since then.
You have or you haven't?
I have.
Okay.
I have. It's just so weird. It's so weird like being a Christian and saying that.
Yeah.
Like, because other Christians are going to be like, okay,
Well,
you're
well, when you think about it, you're like oh gosh, who's done it? Paul's done it. Stephen has. You know, like right before he dies, he's getting martyred. He looks up, he sees Jesus, opens up.
yeah.
There's a lot of people in the Bible who've done that, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
I think that's just why I've kind of like kept it more to myself.
Yeah. But here's the deal though. Here's the deal. You're not doing it out of your own spite. You're not
right.
purposely doing it. Okay.
Right.
Example, just that whole class you can take with John Ramirez, witches and warlocks and stuff. They purposely do that.
Right.
To go claim territories in certain areas. If this happens to you unannounced, accident, you have no control over it. You have no control over it. You know.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wild that people can actually choose to do it.
Yeah.
And they do. I guess that's so crazy to me. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah,
like,
they're just.
It's such an awful feeling.
Well, they got
it really
those,
is.
They got those scales over their eyes.
Yeah. 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 But I know that the FBI had brought in 2 specialists that could do that, and that's like how they would that was like their intel. Like they'd give information to the government, because they could astro project to the enemy line and say, oh, they're going to do this kind of thing. So I know the government is aware of it.
Oh yeah, the government's aware of a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So gosh, a lot of stuff, right?
That's crazy. Good stuff right there.
It's crazy.
Guardian Angel was cool. Astro projecting, it happens. It is what it is. Like I said, you're not purposely doing it, so you got to worry about that. I know a lot of Christians, especially here in the South, are kind of taboo about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. I mean, you can't read one part of the Bible and then not accept the rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And we don't know why things happen. Because, we can just keep the faith, and everything will be explained one day. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're damn right on that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, and there is no right or wrong answer to this. I always ask a lot of people this. What do you think Bigfoot is? There ain't no right or wrong answer to this.
Honestly, I do feel like he's part of the Nephilim thing, Genesis 6. I do feel like he's a part of that. And I've had a lot of questions I feel are starting to be answered. A lot of the dots are being connected recently, and the lights are coming on. Wow, that answers so much stuff. It really does. And when people come, I really want people to come and listen to what the speakers have to say, because it will connect so many dots.
Yeah.
All of them will connect. It's amazing. And that's what I feel like I'm at the breakthrough. I'm at this breakthrough of figuring it out.
Yeah.
And it has to do a lot with the speakers that we have. So, yeah. Genesis 6 for sure.
Man. Okay. All right. Now, what do you think aliens are?
Genesis 6.
I figured. That's why I had asked. I figured.
I really do. I mean, yeah. And after the event, like, I don't want to give anything away just yet, like, but after the event, I'll talk totally freely about it. Like, I'll give you more of my take, I guess, after the event. But yeah, definitely come. Try to come to the event. And I'll share it with you after.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on for sure.
All the details.
Is there going to be, if people can't make it, is there going to be any like live feed, any like live stream, anything like that?
We are. It's funny you say that. We're working towards that. We need some sponsors though, because doing a live feed, it's not cheap.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Doing the whole event, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
So we're really trying to get a lot more sponsors to help. But we really want a live feed to happen. We have found a company that will do it. It's just we're praying for the means to do it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely keep you on our prayers for sure on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Just. Hey Zook, what do you think? Oh, Zook isn't here. My bad. Yeah, and for all y'all, Zook's putting this on the bed, so it's got the screen. But hey, Jessica, freaking awesome, good stuff. Yeah, I really do. You appreciate you coming on here and being vulnerable and just being open and honest. Appreciate that. So,
thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Shoot, girl, pleasure's all mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll definitely have you on here again to talk about what happens at Encounter Quest.
Yes.
So
EncounterQuest.com.
Yeah, guys. You guys, any information or questions or anything? Jessica, where can people find you at?
Yeah, EncounterQuest.com, or you can email EncounterQuest51@gmail.com, or Facebook Messenger. Yeah.
Okay, now what about your business with your brother?
So business with my brother is Broken Branch Designs, LLC.com. My brother is an artist, and we sell everything Bigfoot. So I take his drawings and then put it on everything we can think of, like pillows, shower curtains, t-shirts, I mean, you name it, kind of thing. So so yeah, you can check that out too, Broken Branch Designs, LLC.com.
That is awesome. Cool. Yeah. I will have Zook plug all that in the show notes. That way people can find you guys with the click of a button. So
awesome.
That's all I got.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's all he got. Jessica, appreciate you. Yeah, guys, if you guys can make it out to Encounter Quest, be there, be square, and then Jessica, we look forward to having you back on.
Thank you. So, have a good night.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Later. All right, guys, this is Drewski. We are out and we are done. Just wanted to say, hey, guys, remember, yeah, guys, like it says in Ephesians, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and rulers of this age. Be smart, question everything. And yeah, hope you guys have a good, safe week. And yeah, I'm out. And Zook sends his regards. All right, guys. Later.
It's pretty simple. Anyway. Yeah. Just give me something to feel. They know the glass is full, so the drip is turned to a spill. Be careful what you wish, I for sure can grant your appeal. Cause when I hit you, they gon' blame me when you carted off the field, right? I'm already cold, but I need to chill. I'm here to sharpen the skill while giving us some conversations where none of us getting killed. Look, that's just how D feel. I'm buying land for the rebuild. Welcome to D-Field, plotting in isolation. Cause finding my way in this type of nation, delaying gratification by sowing my seeds now and understanding the patience. The book is already written, stop skipping pages, forgive me, the mind is racing. If you take away the things you think you needed, life is basic, it's a movie, a lot of them playing Satan. Be happy, God is free. You follow truth if you follow me, just call me D, I turn the page. You really think you doing something when you burning sage? I done it all and it was nothing but a learning phase. Yeah, that's demons casting out demons, giving yourself the power by telling God you don't need him. I'm leaving all of my problems to the Most High. You see what God do behind the scenes and make your soul cry. And you don't have to be in church with a suit and a bow tie. I'm saying when you sinking, he'll be right there when you both die. I call him Wi-Fi. Look, it's all about connection. How much did he study when you see a man was tested? How much did you give when you give a man his blessings? One of my pet peeves is saying it was manifested. You can walk outside right now and get shot and die in a second. It's two things I pray for, and that's peace and protection. Did you guess it? And I ain't saying go believe the reverend. I'm saying my praying hands are a secret weapon. I kept them for many years. Struggles are souvenirs. I see we not moving, then that's the reason I disappeared. Cause I'm on a mission to break loose in my future years. Even if it looks super weird, I should be the one Lucifer. But can you tell me that isn't something wrong with me? Cause I'm able to find peace without walking on the beach stress free. I look at life like you should, cause everything you think is bad might be good. Understood? Hold on.